Good evening. I'd like to call to order the Assembly regular meeting. Today is Thursday, March 5th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. We are gathered here at the Assembly Chambers. We'll begin the meeting with the invocation with Captain David Shadow of the Salvation Army.
Let's pray. Dear God, we thank you for bringing us here this evening. We thank you for the opportunity to serve our community this way. And God, I pray that each person here will be filled with your peace and your wisdom and your compassion for everyone in this community. In Jesus' name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We are gathered on the traditional homeland of the Supiaq-Alutiiq people, and we acknowledge the 10 tribes of the Kodiak-Alutiiq region. We recognize the Alutiiq culture that enriches our community to this day. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Ames?
Here.
Mr. Gardner? Mr. Johnson? Ms. Roberts? Mr. Smiley?
Here.
Mr. Whiteside?
Here.
Mr. Woods?
Here.
Mayor Griffin?
Here.
You have a quorum.
Move to excuse Assembly Member Jeremiah Gardner, who is attending the Southwest Alaska Municipal Conference in Anchorage.
Second.
Second.
You're all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Move to approve the agenda and the consent agenda.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, next up is the approval of minutes for February 5th, 2026, regular meeting minutes, and February 12th, 2026, special meeting minutes.
Those were approved. under
Already
consent
approved.
agenda.
All right, great. So moving on to citizens' comments. There are two designated citizen comments period, one at the beginning and one at the end of the meeting. These comment periods are intended for general comments as well as for agenda items that are not part of a public hearing. We have one public hearing item for tonight, which is ordinance number FY 2026-19. Comments for this item will be heard when the agenda item is called during public hearing. Please wait until we get to that portion of the agenda. For those that wish to call in, the local number is 907-486-3231. Toll free is 1-855-492-9202. Please turn off your radio or any listening device to prevent feedback. For those in the room who wish to speak under citizens' comments, please come to the podium and sign in. Turn on the microphone, make sure the green light is on before speaking, and speak directly into the mic. Please state your name for the record and address all remarks to the assembly as a body and not to any member thereof.
Mr. DPO, we do have a phone call. Would
Okay.
you like me to answer this?
This gentleman looks ready to go.
Okay, thank you.
I am ready to go.
My name's Skip Bolton, and I landed here 60 years ago this month. So I'm proud to be a Kodiak citizen. I'm here on behalf of the Board of Directors of the Senior Center, and I'm here to keep you informed as your support of our organization through the Kodiak Island Borough nonprofit grant funding. It'd take me more than 3 minutes to provide a full overview of what we have done for seniors the first quarter of 26, so I would like to highlight just a few of our services. We have served 373 seniors with 4,091 congregate meals, 232 seniors with 6,288 home-delivered and curbside meals, for a total of 10,379 meals made for seniors the past 6 months. Through the CATS transportation program, we have provided 495 assisted rides, 3,999 unassisted rides to over 250 Kodiak residents. We have provided chore respite, lifeline, care coordination, equipment loaning, information and referrals, and many other services to the Kodiak senior community, and look forward to continuing these services. A new collaboration we have with the borough is having SEMA come to the senior center to help with property tax exemption application collection. This creates a reminder and a convenient way for seniors and veterans to submit their applications. This year, SEMA came 3 times and served 20 seniors. We received regular feedback from our participants, and one comment card that came in last quarter that said, "I find that the senior center and the many things that you provide improve my daily life. You do an exceptional job." If you have any questions or comments, please contact our staff directly at 486-6181. Thank you again for your continued support, and so we can continue to provide these essential services to Kodiak seniors.
Thank you for that update, Mr. Bolton, and please let the folks know we said hello over at the senior center.
You are now answering a call from the queue.
Good evening, Assembly meeting. Please state your name for the record.
Good evening, Assembly members. My name is Brenda Swanis. Good evening to the Borough Manager, SEMA Clerk, Mayor, and staff. Thank you, Assembly Member Whiteside, at last night's joint work session for acknowledging some hard issues that need to be addressed. One is the borough budget deficit, a potential large reduction in the fish tax, hinting that possibly the borough may not be able to fully fund the school district ask. But most importantly, Assemblymember Whiteside, I want to thank you for acknowledging that you're, representing the community. It was just really important for elected members, who are governing to place that in the forefront of their decision making, and the people who voted for you. So thank you for that. I'm concerned, my concern tonight and before tonight is that the school district, it has deferred hard issues such as school closure until next year. I believed and thought that most of the public comments said, please do it now. And now that, school districts come up with a big community committee that they want, to get feedback and stuff. But I really believe that the school board has already received all the feedback that they need, and that this deferment of school closure and additional budget deficit year after next is just pushing the hard decisions down the line. So I guess basically what I'm asking the assembly members to do is critically think about the funding issues. There's a lot, I know that possibly the school board doesn't agree with this, but there's a lot of things that can be cut in the school district right now without closing a school. The iPads, the laptops, the licensure, the fees, at least most of them, not all. But the prices for those is, good couple million, $1.5 to $2 million. That would be a big savings. I don't think kids need iPads anyway in the, lower grades. So anyway, I'm just really concerned that the assembly has always, I believe, in the last 7 or 8 years, given the school district what they're asking for without being critical, thinking about cuts that could be made without putting it on, additional burden on the borough and the community. So thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us, Ms. Fuentes. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. Bye.
Any more phone calls? Anyone else in the audience? All right. So we're going to move on to committee reports. Any committee reports from the assembly? Appears none, so we're going to move on to the public hearing for ordinance number FY 2026-19, amending the Kodiak Island Borough Code of Ordinances, Title 3 Revenue and Finance, Chapter 3.15, Public Finance, Budget Section 3.50.3030, Budget and Capital Program, to change the budget and capital program submittal date.
Move to adopt ordinance number FY 2026-19.
Second.
Second, staff report, please. Seema Groot, AO.
Thank you, DPO Whiteside. This change is meant to improve the borough's budgeting process. Under the current timeline, service area budgets are due to the clerks just 1 day before the full budget is due to the assembly, while the school district's funding request is not submitted to the borough until 30 days after the manager must present the overall budget to the assembly. These misaligned deadlines make it difficult for staff to accurately incorporate all required information and present a complete budget on time. The proposed update revises the staff submission deadline to the assembly and removes the requirement to include the school district's funding request in the borough budget and the budget message. This will give staff additional time and flexibility to prepare a more complete, accurate, and workable operating budget and capital plan.
Thank you. And with that, we'll open the public hearing. The phone numbers to call in are 907-486-3231. Toll free again is 1-855-492-9202. And for those in the room, if you wish to speak, please sign in and state your name for the record. Turn on the microphone before speaking. Address all remarks to the assembly as a body and not to any member thereof. If calling in, please turn off any listening devices to prevent feedback. We'll give the folks online a little bit of time if they wish to call in. Okay, it doesn't look like we have anyone calling in, so we'll close the public hearing and open it up for assembly discussion. Mr. Smiley.
Seems like a housekeeping bill. I'm perfectly happy with it. Thank you.
I'll support this as well. It seems the more flexibility we can provide folks that are preparing budgets, the better. So I will definitely be a yes vote for this. Mayor Griffin. Care to weigh in?
Nope, I agree with Member Smiley. Housekeeping, we're glad we're finally, it's been confusing for as long as I've been on the assembly, so I'm glad we're cleaning this up. Thank you.
Alrighty, thank you. Okay, any further discussion? Okay. All right, roll call vote on the motion, please.
Mr. Ains?
Yes.
Mr. Smiley?
Yes.
Mr. Whiteside?
Yes.
Mr. Woods?
Yes.
Would anyone like to change their vote? Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, moving on. Next is the Borough Manager's Report. Madam AO.
Thank you very much. KIB is continuing to participate with the AML Property Tax Working Group. Our comments in Juneau have led to the state assessor attending our work group session on March 13th. KIB has submitted approximately 8 questions to the assessor for the full value determination that we kind of didn't want to blindside them, so we did submit some questions to him so that we could give him a heads up on what we were going to ask for. The Citizens Academy has been launched. The ENF department will be the first presenters on March 10th. Anyone interested in attending should send an email indicating their interest to academy@kodiak.us. The KIB FY27 budget has been spelled out for you. You guys decided that the list that we presented last week was good for you, and we just put it in the report to show you the steps. Our current collective bargaining agreement with IBEW expires on June 30th, 2026. A series of meetings were scheduled, with the first meeting set for April 8th, 2026. DPO Whiteside has offered to be the assembly representative. The manager's office and community development met with the DOT folks and reviewed progress on the Kodiak, Russian, and Sergeant Creek Pell study, focusing on hydrologic modeling, alternatives development, and public involvement status. They suggested the project moved into a funded modeling and solutions phase and described plans to run hydraulic models to evaluate alternatives such as enlarging bridge openings, adding culverts, and raising the road grade, and a stakeholder working group meeting was noted for late winter or spring. For current recruitment, for ENF, the Director for Engineering and Facilities and Environmental Specialists are open. The LTP Supervisor position has been updated and is being advertised in-house, and the Solid Waste Baylor Supervisor position has been offered. In Community Development, Code Enforcement Officer, we had a candidate interview yesterday. For finance, the 2025 foreclosure process has begun. The required annual 4-week newspaper publication of the foreclosure list started on February 20th. Since additional interest and fees continue to accrue, please call the Finance Department for payoff amounts. Staff will continue entering and verifying information in both the new and legacy tax collection systems. This dual entry is planned through June to ensure accurate payment postings, proper levy processing, and the accurate production of tax statements. In information and technology, the upcoming departure of senior IT staff member has IT working on transitioning responsibility and subject matter knowledge internally. They continue to apply critical and security patches to KIB systems, work on providing computing and networking resources to the LTP plant staff, as well as installing and configuring the public access web server for our internal Laserfish forms. IT continues to work on reviewing perimeter firewalls and networking equipment for issues, as well as preparing the upcoming cybersecurity grant project. And GIS is continuing to work with community development on creating custom public notification maps for zoning, as well as creating addresses for the new housing project on Salif near the airport. In assessing, good cause exemption hearings have been scheduled to be heard by the Assembly on May 21st, 2026. Notice of values were mailed on February 27th, 2026. And the assessing staff and Tyler representatives have a meeting tomorrow to address software issues and the next steps for our new go-live date. In community development, the Planning and Zoning Commission will hold a work session on March 11th, 2026. The work session will include discussion items on comprehensive plan training and potential updates to case notices and case signs. They will also review the packet review for the March 18th, 2026 regular meeting. The packet review includes case number 26-014, the rezone case for 2593 Metrokin Way, which is a rezone case submitted by the City of Kodiak needed for the construction of lift station number 5. A survey of intergovernmental cooperation and the capital improvement program is now open. The survey case can be accessed from the Plan 2045 webpage, and the survey will be open through March and will close on April 17th. In engineering and facilities, over the weekend, the projects manager, ENF's maintenance staff assisted KIB SD staff with addressing the leak that occurred in the Kodiak Middle School. Long Technology was on site February 19th conducting updates to our building monitoring systems for the KIB admin and KFRC buildings. IT staff and Long Technology have been communicating through email. ENF staff are anticipating their return to the island to complete a diagnostic of the facilities and provide reports on deficiencies and recommend updates in the beginning of April. Staff requested an extension from the Solid Waste Contract Committee to finalize updates to the draft and provide adequate time for committee review prior to the next meeting. The SWCC meeting has been rescheduled for March 17th at 3 p.m. And staff finished the draft and provided it to the SWCC board on February 27th. On November 16th, staff was directed by the Assembly and Manager to proceed with the small-scale destructive testing repairs in the lifeguard room. Staff have reached out to JYW for a cost estimate proposal and anticipate an engineering fee of $42,739 for the efforts associated with design and construction oversight. The contract is in the next Assembly agenda cycle for review and approval. PKIMC elevators are delayed due to missing parts identified during the project's office inventory. All other materials have arrived and are stored until work begins in April. The project's office held a bid opening on March 3rd, 2026 for landfill soil remediation. Staff received 3 bid submissions. The contract is on the next Assembly agenda cycle for review and approval. On today's agenda, we will be talking about the long-term care and Carlick remediation for the ADEC. And Providence Kodiak Island Medical Center has requested that several projects get moved forward. The following items were on the Assembly agenda for discussion and were postponed. The same items are on the Architectural Review Board agenda for review, and they are the automatic transfer switches design, air handling unit 1 design, reverse osmosis and steam generator design, and the distribution panel 6 design. The leachate treatment plant citric acid dosing skid replacement. The LTP plant staff has notified the manager that that skid needs to be upgraded and replaced. Viola Water Technologies and Solutions who manufactured and provided the membranes for the LTP has provided a quote for the upgraded replacement for an estimated cost of $40,039, which includes a new pump installation cost on and off-site assistance and a spare pump. This would be considered a sole source procurement due to the system LTP currently has to work with was designed and manufactured by Viola. The manager is currently reviewing this proposal. The Regional Solid Waste Management Plan update has been received by staff and now posted on the KIB website for public to view. Staff will also be presenting the finalized plan to the Solid Waste Advisory Board with a corresponding plan for actionable public education and outreach. The manager and the maintenance coordinator received a quote from Phillips Scales to conduct the annual truck scale repair and maintenance. That quote is currently under review, and landfill staff completed a full rebuild of the baler and strapping system every 2 years in preparation for the upcoming rebuild scheduled for the winter of 2026. Staff requested multiple quotes for the necessary parts. 2 quotes have been received and are on the Assembly agenda for approval due to the cost exceeding the manager's purchase authority. The KFRC Industrial Pump Alaska has installed pumps 3 and 4. However, the shafts have been found to be too short. Staff has requested that IPA provide a plan to address and resolve this issue. The small projects list includes the Resource Court Apartment lift station repairs, Port Lions School emergency fire alarm panel replacement, Harlequin Court Park updates, picnic table replacement, Port Lions School painting project, Annex building, the old Red Cross building UST removal, North Star boiler gun replacement, landfill use oil burner replacement, and the Mill Bay stairs, Mill Bay Beach stairs and picnic table replacement. There's a list of upcoming meetings for you guys to see. Are there any questions?
Thank you for the report. Any questions for Seema?
I have a question.
Mr. Smiley?
On the foreclosure list, do we keep track of how many are satisfied by the property owners as opposed to how many end up in our pocket to deal with?
I'm sure that Dora does keep track. It would be pretty easy to see how many people actually paid by the time that we go to actually take them to court and do the foreclosure process on these properties. I could make sure that Dora has an update for you for the next meeting.
I'd really like to know that information.
Okay.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mr. Ames?
On that same foreclosure thing, I know it's printed in the paper, but before the actual foreclosure paperwork is filed and started, is the owner notified by letter or something?
They are. They receive letters throughout. Like in December, they got a letter in January, and it gives them their new interest amount every time. So February, before the foreclosure list was made, they sent out letters again.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Any other questions for Seema? All right, moving on. The next item on the agenda is messages from the Borough Mayor. Mr. Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. DPO. Today's going to be more of kind of an informal report. We'll have a more formal one when I return. First, I want to say a big thanks to DPO Whiteside and the clerks and Amy for helping just kind of fill me in or fill in for me and support me. We don't know if you know, there's dealing with a family tragedy down here in Texas, so it makes me feel really good that I got some good people up there to fill in for me. A couple weeks ago, I was attended AML, and it was a fantastic conference, and it was a very pessimistic conference. A lot of negativity about the state budget, but I guess that's to be expected. I testified during the House and Senate Joint Education Committee meeting about the importance of school bond debt reimbursement at 100%, and there was a lot of sympathy across the aisles for that in that committee. So I had some follow-up meetings with some representatives to talk about that and to talk about some bills. So so those things are moving. Also at AML, we talked a lot about the Rural Health Transformation Fund. That is about $250 million over each year over the next 5 years for Alaska hospital and health and wellness infrastructure. Providence is already working on something for us, and those letters of interest or letters of proposal are due March 15th. They are hoping to have things funded they're expecting to move on this pretty quickly, have money ready by October, and get whatever projects we have going. So I think Providence will be presenting to us soon, and so we'll make sure to include that in that presentation. I spent quite a lot of time talking to representatives from Lockheed Martin about the expansion that's going to be going on out at the spaceport. Alaska, they notified me that Alaska is part of the Aerospace State Association, and they invited me to their conference in August because a lot of communities go there. They learn about each other. They learn what each other's doing in response to these massive infrastructure dollars coming into their communities, and especially how they are negotiating PILTs, not just with the government and DoD, but with these aerospace corporations coming in. So I'm going to probably ask to put this in the budget, but I'd really like to meet with these people to see how they are negotiating PILTs, and how we can get some more resources for us to kind of compensate for the infrastructure that they're using. I've had a meeting with the KEA CEO, and already the energy demands that the expansion of the spaceport is going to have is going to be astronomical. KEA is going to be asking for more parcels in the future, in the very, very near future, which we'll put on the Lands Committee meeting, just so they can expand their capacity. So we're already going to start to see the effects of that expansion now. So it would be, I think, good to see what other communities are doing and see how we can access PILTs across the board. I know that up in Delta Junction, they negotiated a $50,000 a year PILT from Lockheed Martin. So I would like to do that here, and get those agreements in place. Let's see what else. Speaking of the Lands Committee, yes, I did have to cancel that meeting because of some family issues. We'll be picking that up very, very soon, in a couple of weeks, and get that going again. Let's see what else. I had a really great interview with the Port Lions kids, about a 1 hour interview on their live streaming podcast, just to talk about public service and all that. It was a really great time. I'm not sure when it will be posted and available, but I will let the clerks and y'all know when that is. A couple of things I'm looking at immediately, like tonight, is I don't know if you saw the email about the public notice about potential changes to the airport parking lot, and that contract. I'm going to look into that tonight and maybe put a letter together asking them to pause that for a little bit, because I agree there's no comprehensive plan about airport parking, and there's some concern that whatever changes they're going to make isn't including our rental car companies. And so there's a lot of concern about traffic, about tourist experience, about making sure our rental car companies are being taken care of. So I might put some language together and just send it out tonight. Unfortunately, they sent the public notice out today, but comments are due on Monday, and they have to be submitted by mail. Not by email, not by phone, but by mail. So the chamber, and I think the chamber is compiling a lot of letters, and they're going to send it electronically to Anchorage, and somebody in Anchorage is going to print them out and mail them on Monday. It's ridiculous, I know. So I might send something out and just ask for permission later, but I want you at least be able to see the language before that goes out. And then I'm looking at my list, and then finally, I just want to say what a great joint work session that was last night. Thanks for great conversations, great questions. I think you all articulated your concerns very clearly, very eloquently, and I think the school board heard that. So thanks for maintaining that tone and tenor of constructive conversation with them. And a huge shout out to Cody and the projects office with a great presentation. I think it really put school facility and maintenance in scope. And so that we could all just understand it a little bit better. One more thing that came out of AML is new revenue. We really need to start looking at new revenue, again, not to grow government, but to diversify our revenue and hedge against some of these uncertainties that we're having. I learned that the Sitka Borough has a city and borough, they have a marijuana tax, and they use that tax just for school activities. So that comprises their entire school activity budget. So I thought that was a great idea worth looking at. Anyway, I will throw it back to Mr. Whiteside. Thanks again. I miss you guys. I'll see you later next week.
Thank you, Mayor Griffin. We look forward to seeing you again. Next item on the agenda is new business. So first we have contracts. First contract is contract number FY 2025-43, change order number 1, multi-facility elevator modernization with TK Elevator Corp. for the authorization of payment of tariffs in the amount of $4,302.51.
Move to authorize the borough manager to execute change order number 1 to contract number FY 2025-43 with TK Elevator Corporation for the additional payment of tariff fees for shipping materials to Kodiak for the elevator modernization project in the amount of $4,302.51.
Second.
Thank you. Staff report, Madam AO.
Thank you, DPO Whiteside. The Kodiak Island Borough Assembly approved the original contract on March 7th, 2025. The contract included a provision that allowed the contractor to assess additional tariff fees if tariff rates increased during the procurement of project materials. On December 19th, 2025, the borough received notice from TK Elevators that tariffs had increased by $4,302.51 for the shipping of materials associated with the project. Staff requested additional clarifications and chose to wait for the materials to arrive on site before processing any change orders. Because the original contract was executed as a not-to-exceed, staff is required to bring any contract modifications to the Assembly for approval. The materials for both projects have now been delivered and inventoried, and work on the Kodiak Middle School elevator was completed. With material delivery verified and updated invoicing received, staff is now requesting the Assembly approve for this change order. Thank you.
Thank you. Assembly discussion.
I think we more or less have to approve it because that was part of the contract we originally agreed to. So therefore, I think this is kind of a no-brainer and just a paperwork because we have to vote. Thank you.
Mr. Woods.
I agree. This is more or less housekeeping.
Thank you. And as I understand it, Madam AO, this was, this just pushed us over the 50,000 manager's spending limit. Did I remember that?
I think this has to come no matter what because
Okay.
of the way that the contracted was executed as
Okay.
a not to exceed.
All righty. Thank you. Any further discussion? Roll call vote on the motion, please.
Mr. Smiley?
Yes.
Mr. Whiteside?
Yes.
Mr. Woods?
Yes.
Mr. Ames?
Yes.
Would anyone like to change their vote? Motion passes 4-0.
Thank you. Next up is contract number FY 2026-47, Kodiak Island Borough Cybersecurity Infrastructure Project with Kodiak Cyber Solutions in the amount of $219,453.
Move to authorize the borough manager to award contract number FY 2026-47 with Kodiak Cyber Solutions for the Kodiak Island Borough Cybersecurity Infrastructure Project in the amount of $219,453.
Second.
Thank you. Staff report, Madam AO.
Thank you, DPO Whiteside. An RFP to upgrade, replace, and configure the firewall, switches, and wireless access points for the Kodiak Island Borough network was issued on August 8th, 2025, with a return date of September 26, 2025. The RFP stipulated that the project must be completed by the end of 2026. 4 proposals were received, reviewed, and scored by IT staff. After careful evaluation, staff recommends awarding the contract to the top scoring respondent, Kodiak Cyber Solutions. Their proposal demonstrates strong expertise in implementing complex networking infrastructure projects including SCADA systems and security monitoring platforms for the FAA. Kodiak Cyber Solutions has also performed work for other governmental organizations in Alaska. Funding for this project will come primarily from the Cybersecurity Grant Program, which will reimburse the borough up to $180,000. While the reimbursement does not cover the full amount of the contract, KIB has approval from the Alaska State Grant Office to proceed with the selection and to award the project contract to Kodiak Cyber Solutions. And KIB has also requested that the grant offer issue a formal award notification reflecting the increased amount. If the grant is not adjusted by the state of Alaska to cover the full amount of this contract, the difference will be funded from the IT budget.
Thank you. Assembly discussion. Mr. Smiley.
It's obviously needed. I mean, there's a lot of nasty stuff that goes down over the internet, so I'm all in favor of having cyber solutions on our side. Thank you.
Mr. Woods.
With as fast as this stuff is moving, it was great to see staff look through and actually not just make they pick the lowest bidder, but to actually pick the highest scoring respondent. Personally, I love that model of doing business when it's something as important as we're seeing with cybersecurity and the liability not having sufficient imposes. So very much for this, even though it's a lot of money.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Okay, roll call vote on the motion, please.
Mr. Whiteside?
Yes.
Mr. Woods?
Yes.
Mr. Ames?
Yes.
Mr. Smiley?
Yes.
Would anyone like to change their vote? Motion passes 4-0.
Thank you. Next up is contract number FY 2026-48, long-term care fuel spill site investigation fieldwork and reporting with NWFF.
Move to authorize the borough manager to execute contract number FY 2026-48 with NWFF for the long-term care fuel spill site investigation, fieldwork, and reporting in the amount of $110,992.
Thank you.
Second.
Oops, excuse me. We have a second. Staff report, please, Madam AO.
In March 2020, fuel was discovered entering the city sanitary sewer system from a manhole located on the Providence Island Medical Center's property. The source was identified as a leaking heating fuel line at the Kodiak Elder House Long-Term Care Facility. At that time, the Kodiak Island Borough contacted NWFF to prepare a corrective action plan and perform immediate cleanup operations. In July 2025, the Kodiak Island Borough was notified by the Alaska Department of Environmental Conservation that a final report and supporting documentation had not been submitted. Although contaminated soils had been removed during construction activities and treated at a land farm, no confirmation sampling had been completed. To meet ADEC regulatory requirements, a formal site characterization is needed to determine the extent of remaining contamination and assess whether additional corrective actions were required. Because NWFF completed the original corrective action plan, KIB again contracted with them to develop a site investigation work plan for ADEC to review and approve. In January 2026, ADEC approved the new work plan for additional site investigation, characterization, and final reporting. On February 9th, KIB requested a proposal from NWFF for fieldwork and reporting, given their history and familiarity with the site. On April 19th, KIB received the attached proposal, which outlines the cost necessary to complete the work specified in the ADEC-approved site investigation work plan. And just as an FYI, staff updated the contract in the packet from last week. The most important thing to note in this new contract is that the firm fixed price was modified. This allows any additional work that needs to be done. We can still go through NWFF without having to rebid, and it will be at the cost table that is supplied. So the contractual amount stayed the same, but the attributes and abilities to modify works changed, and that is in the number 5, limitations and exclusions, part of the contract, sorry.
Thank you. Assembly discussion. Seeing none, roll call vote on the motion, please.
Mr. Woods?
Yes.
Mr. Ames?
Yes.
Mr. Smiley?
Yes.
Mr. Whiteside?
Yes.
Would anyone like to change their vote? Motion passes 4-0.
Thank you. Next up is contract number FY 2026-49, Carlick School UST Fuel Spill Work Plan Implementation by 3-Tier Alaska.
Move to authorize the borough manager to execute contract number FY 2026-49 with 3-Tier Alaska to implement the work plan for Carlick School UST fuel spill.
Thank you. Staff, oops, excuse
Second.
me. Thank you for the, that's been seconded. Staff report, please, Madam Mayo.
Thank you, DPO Whiteside. Much like the last one, in January 2025, the Kodiak Island Borough received notice from the Alaska Department of Environmental Conservation requiring additional site characterization and delineation for the Carlick School UST spill originally identified in 2014. KIB had previously contracted with 3-Tier Alaska, formerly Travis Peterson Environmental Consulting, Inc., in 2020 to conduct field sampling and reporting for the land farm that housed contaminated soils from that initial spill. In March 2025, KIB again engaged 3-Tier Alaska to coordinate with ADEC and clarify the specific actions needed to advance the project. Because 3-Tier Alaska completed the initial work and maintains comprehensive knowledge of the site history, they were the most appropriate choice to assist in determining next steps. In April 2025, 3-Tier Alaska held a stakeholder meeting to review options with ADEC and identify requirements to move forward. In May 2025, ADEC formally requested submission of a site characterization work plan. 3-Tier Alaska completed that work plan and submitted it to ADEC for review on November 25th, 2025. KIB received official approval of the plan in January. KIB staff requested a proposal from 3-Tier Alaska to perform the field work and reporting required under the approved work plan to satisfy ADEC's request for further characterization and delineation of the Carlick School UST site. KIB staff received a proposal from 3-Tier Alaska for the field work and reporting, as well as 2 quotes they received for the subcontracted drilling services. Staff are proposing to accept the proposal from 3-Tier Alaska with the lowest drilling cost subcontractor quote. The only thing different in this packet from last week was that staff noticed that we didn't supply the second bid in the packet, and we have included that in the packet for your review this week. Thank you.
Thank you. Assembly discussion. Mr. Smiley.
My understanding is we can't divest ourselves of the school at Carlick, which has been closed for several years, until we clean this up. Is that correct?
That is 100% correct.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Okay, seeing none, roll call vote on the motion, please.
Mr. Ames?
Yes.
Mr. Smiley?
Yes.
Mr. Whiteside?
Yes.
Mr. Woods?
Yes.
Would anyone like to change their vote? Motion passes 4-0.
Thank you. And the last contract for the evening is contract number FY 2026-50, Baylor Maintenance Part Purchase with Blankenship Equipment.
Move to authorize the borough manager to execute contract number FY 2026-50 for the purchase of Baylor rebuild parts from Blankenship Equipment in the amount of $100,439.
Second.
Thank you. We have a second. Staff report, please, Madam Mayo.
Thank you again, DPO Whiteside. The Kodiak Island Borough landfill uses a Harris press baler to compact the municipal solid waste that is delivered to the facility. These contracted or compacted bales are then stacked within the landfill cell for final disposal. The baler is well beyond its intended service life, and to keep it operational, the landfill staff must perform a full rebuild of the machine approximately every 2 years. The components being replaced are subject to continuous wear and tear due to the rigorous processing of solid waste. Regular replacement of these high-wear parts is essential to maintain the baler's performance to the original specification and prevent further deterioration of the machine. In previous years, staff were only able to locate a single provider for the necessary baler rebuild parts. This year, staff identified an additional supplier located in Washington State. Quotes for full parts lists were requested from both the Alaska-based vendor and the Washington-based vendor. Of the two responses received, Blankenship Equipment in Washington offered the lower overall parts cost. Because the borough is responsible for transporting the parts to Alaska, staff also solicited quotes from multiple shipping companies and received 2 shipping estimates. Span Alaska provided the lowest shipping cost. Even when accounting for the additional barge shipping expenses, Blankenship Equipment remains the most cost-effective vendor for the required parts. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Thank you. Assembly discussion. Okay, seeing none, roll call vote on the motion, please.
Mr. Smiley?
Yes.
Mr. Whiteside?
Yes.
Mr. Woods?
Yes.
Mr. Ames?
Yes.
Would anyone like to change their vote? Motion passes 4-0.
Thank you, and that's the last of the contracts. So moving on to the next item is another opportunity for anyone listening in to provide citizens' comments. The local number is 907-486-3231. Toll-free number is 855-492-9202. Please turn off your radio or any listening device to prevent feedback. For those in the room who wish to speak under citizens' comments, please come to the podium and sign in. Turn on the microphone and make sure the green light is on before speaking, and speak directly into the mic. Please state your name for the record, address all remarks to the assembly as a body and not to any member thereof.
Hi, I'm C. McGroot, your assessor. I just want to remind everybody that we are in the appeal period for the 2026 notice of values that were mailed out on February 27th. Please make sure that you come in and appeal during the appropriate time. Watch out for that new postcard that we sent out. I just want to make sure that everybody is aware that the rules are the rules, and we have until the 31st to come in and appeal. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any phone calls? Seeing none, we'll give a few more seconds for anyone who wishes to call in. All right, so we'll move on to assembly member comments. Mr. Smiley.
I want to thank everybody for last night when we had the joint meeting with the school board. I thought that went very well. I thought especially the coordination that's developed between the building people here in ENF and the maintenance people in the school district is really changed enormously, and I'm very pleased with that. I'm hopeful that we continue to have such good relations with the school district. I think it's an important part of our community for both of us to be involved in that, and for the city as well. Other than that, I hate the snow.
Thank you. Mr. Ames.
Well, kind of echo that, not just maintenance, but it seems to be more cooperative between the borough and the school board as a whole. And because our maintenance does overlap, it has not happened that much in the past, but I think it is key that we work together. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Woods.
I would also like to echo my pleasure at seeing more collaborative relationships amongst different entities. It hasn't just even been the the school district. And frankly, it's been staff working better together. From what I've previously observed, our interactions with the city has appeared to be improving. Just a general good track to be on, and frankly, a pleasant and efficient way to do business. So thank you.
Thank you. I agree with comments made, so I won't repeat them about last night's meeting. I do have a fun small town kind of update. So we had a recent meeting about solid waste planning for the future, and as I understand it, a large amount of green waste is generated from our 2 local grocery stores. So when I was grocery shopping Saturday morning, I did a few laps and I tracked down the manager at Safeway, and a very nice gentleman. We had a nice discussion about how we can maybe divert that green waste in a way that doesn't fill our pit that is almost filled to the top. And he was receptive to the idea. He said Safeway in general follows these types of practices, and he let me know that they backhaul 95% of their plastic that is generated down to the lower 48, and they backhaul 100% of their cardboard, which was nice to hear. But he did collect my contact information. He's going to forward it to their district office. So hopefully we'll receive a phone call soon. I've already prompted Mr. Allen that we might get a phone call, and I will direct them to folks at staff. So hopefully we'll get that phone call and we can divert some of that green waste. Next time I'm at Walmart, I'm going to track someone down there as well. That is the end of my comment there. So the next Assembly Work Session is scheduled on Thursday, March 12th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. And the next Assembly regular meeting is scheduled on Thursday, March 19th at 6:30 p.m. in the Borough Assembly Chambers. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Second. So voice vote on the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you. We are adjourned at 7:28 p.m.
A record.
Thanks, Jared. We will see you soon.
Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you, Jared. Safe travels.